Well, good morning, guys. First day of August, and it's gonna be a good month, busy month for us. And we had a great meeting over at Watonga last night. I'm going to give you an update on that and what's coming next for the campaign. Then I'm going to highlight more of what I talk about a lot: self-governance and the path to true freedom. And of course, talking about President Trump's presidential fitness test that he is re-implementing, which I'm celebrating. I think it's a great thing. And the start of a massive shift in American culture, but I think that massive shift started back in January 20th. You point back to maybe 2016, but we are in the middle of a true shift of American culture back, I believe, in a positive direction. So many areas there we can celebrate and talk about all that here this morning. Of course, give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry, one of my heroes, and I've got a couple of these give me liberty or give me death cups, and it's true. What do we have if we do not have freedom? And freedom, of course, is the heart of God. And Jesus came to set us free from sin. You see the theme throughout the whole Bible, where God's people were enslaved. And of course, with the ultimate example with Egypt and Moses leading them out of slavery into the promised land, and Moses being a forerunner of Christ, and the whole story representing what Jesus ultimately did. And that reflects the heart of God, the heart of the Father, to set us free. And so the founding fathers understood this. They modeled our republic after many of the biblical truths and the biblical model of government. So, man, I'm just looking about where to start this morning. There's so many areas, but freedom, the path to freedom, self-governance. We're talking about what Trump recently did. Let's start there, and then I'm going to give you an update on Watonga. We just had a really good meeting out there and talk about what's coming next. But as you know, if you've been following me any amount of time, you know that health and fitness is a priority for me. I say all the time, the first step in protecting your freedom is protecting your health. If you just think about that, consider the truth and the reality of that if you do not have your health, what do you have? You certainly do not have freedom, and you don't have the ability to fight for your freedom or fight for your family. And I have been very concerned about the physical health and the mental health and the spiritual health of our nation and our state. That's why I'm excited about this announcement by President Trump of the presidential fitness test. And, when I say the first step in protecting your freedom is protecting your health, it gets down to the fundamentals, to the foundation, to your daily decisions, and not only how you discipline yourself, but also your family. And now we're going to see this effort to get our children healthy. But of course, we shouldn't rely on the government for that. That is the parents' role and responsibility to ensure your children are healthy, your grandchildren are healthy. And there's so many other things that come into play whenever you live a healthy lifestyle. You exercise discipline, which translates into other areas of your life, into your financial health and your relational health. So that's why I call it a keystone habit. It's one of those habits that when you implement, it has a ripple effect, and it affects so many other areas of your life. When I was in the Senate, I was working with Cooper Institute in Dallas. and they're just worldwide renowned in their fitness assessments. People come from all over the world to do fitness assessments and training with the Cooper Institute in Dallas. And you have to look them up. They're phenomenal. I used to train several people, and I would send them when I lived in Dallas. I would send them to the Cooper Institute to do their comprehensive fitness evaluation. And I could personally do some basic tests like body fat checks and BMI, and then of course all your physical checks. But I'd go to the Cooper Institute, and they would take it to a whole nother level. And so I was working with the Cooper Institute here in Oklahoma because they were working on a national effort to re-implement fitness assessments in schools. Now, what Trump is talking about is actually something a little bit different, but what Cooper Institute was working on was this nationwide effort to implement fitness assessments to simply do an assessment on every child, as long as they had their parents' consent, to find out where they're at with BMI, which I'm not a fan of BMI. I'd rather do a body fat percentage check. But to do that and just a general wellness check, not to, go in the direction of having clinics and things like that in public schools, not a fan of that. But just to get a benchmark to find out where the health of our children are at. And it was, I felt a very obvious bill, should have been done. And I believe would have been done. However, I voted against Senator Thompson's bill to hand to give more authority to the Wildlife Commission, which is what I saw happen to the OTA and other agencies. So in committee, I voted against that move and killed that bill. And he was upset. And so the next day, I actually had a meeting scheduled with him to talk to him about hearing my bill on fitness assessments. I went and saw him, and he said, well, we'll look at it next year. Okay. I knew the game. I knew what was going on. It was, you don't vote for my bill, I don't vote for your bill. It didn't matter about the health of the state and what was actually good for Oklahomans. It was just this petty grade school kind of behavior that I despise. So I experienced that, and that killed that effort to implement these fitness assessments in health assessments in our public schools. So now I'm glad to see that President Trump is doing this. Let me just play you this. This is the signing of this bill, this executive order.
That is amazing. Good job. Okay, we got it. I think we're good. Okay. We'll pass them around, please. Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
Okay. That is not signed with an auto pen. There's no auto pen. We don't want auto pens in the White House. Okay. Any questions, please? About it? I think probably.
I love it. Not signed with an auto pen. So he has assembled this committee of professional athletes to oversee this, to promote it. And here's the promo from these professional athletes.
We have a president that knows sports unlike any other. He brought together 30 of the most elite athletes to bring back the presidential fitness test.
We think we have the opportunity to change, in the 70-year history of PCSFN, the course of where it's going currently. We have some of the greatest athletes behind us from all different sports to headline, envision, and empower the students of our young generation.
I've watched sort of the decline of the youth of America and their ability and sort of the decline of the importance of fitness and health and nutrition and all of it. And it's an incredible honor, and I'm thrilled to dig in and get to work.
We're all about helping young youth to be moved. It's about sport, it's about fitness and nutrition. I have a passion for all of them. So I'm excited to be able to make a difference in kids' life moving forward. So I'm very thankful to President Trump for giving me this platform and for us to change the generation.
Isn't that exciting? It is so much for me. If we can get into schools and start educating our children again about self-discipline, self-regulation, this is the path to freedom. You create independent thinkers who believe in themselves. And, you know, it's one thing to believe in yourself, but not have the physical ability to do anything about it. And we want to make sure that that barrier is removed for everyone, young and old alike. So not only believing that you can do it, but then actually having the physical ability to back it up. And, you know, it breaks my heart to see the physical state of our state. That, again, we are at the bottom of the nation when it comes to obesity, heart disease in Oklahoma. This has to change, and this is a top priority for me because, like I said, it's a keystone habit where if you change this thing, if you start exercising discipline in your physical health, physical discipline, it translates into so many other areas of life. Now, I believe there is this global conspiracy and effort to create slaves dependent on the state. And this is a path out of that. Okay. This is, I believe, a critical path out where you are independently controlling yourself. And this is where we have to apply tremendous effort to protect your personal identity, to protect your right to own and operate your own business without burdensome taxes and regulations, your right to your own health care, where you can, this is how you exercise independence and freedom when it comes to your health and staying out of the system of big pharma, big insurance, corporate hospitals. I want to avoid that at all costs. Okay. And the way I do it is daily. I live a lifestyle of health. And we have to teach that of how to do this. And when it becomes a national effort, you are part of something. You're reminded of it every day, the importance of it, the priority of it. So as I do this campaign, I'm going to be prioritizing this, talking about this, helping people with this. I have a nonprofit Paraclete that I started years ago to help with this effort that I'm investing in and working. The purpose of this is to help other people get healthy. Good morning, Mark. No worries at all. We're talking about self-governance, personal, individualized discipline, and protecting that individualized freedom. I don't know if you've ever read this book, The American Covenant, but a tremendous book. And actually this morning, I was reading about self-government. And this is where it's at, guys. This is what drove the Puritans to seek another land where they could govern themselves and experience true freedom. We have that, and we must not lose it. But I believe we must exercise this every day with our spiritual health, getting back in the Word of God, exercising it with our physical health. How do you exercise mental health? We'll start with, if you start with those first two, the spiritual health and the physical health, you'll be amazed at what happens to the mental health. One of the ways we can help this mental health crisis in the state and in the nation is helping in these two areas. And by literally exercising, this is going to transform the mental decline that we've seen in Oklahoma. I mean, it's amazing what exercise and proper nutrition will do to overcome things like ADD. I don't think it's often ADD. I think we have this pent up energy. Young boys being forced to sit in classrooms for 8 hours at a time. I think it would drive most people insane. And so we need to implement physical exercise again in our classrooms. And then I believe we would see a great improvement in mental health across the state of Oklahoma. So this needs to be a priority once again. Let me play this. This is something, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, I came across this video and I was just amazed. This is with JFK. He had a similar effort. I say similar. I mean, you'll see. It's amazing what was happening in the La Sierra High School. It was kind of an experiment where JFK was testing what we might implement across the nation in every public school. And you'll hear him say that it was a matter of national security. And we'll just watch the video. This has stuck with me since I first saw it. And it's just a perfect time to roll it out again with President Trump rolling out this presidential fitness test.
A California high school has the well-nigh perfect answer to the president's call for physical fitness. Stan Laprati, physical education director at La Sierra High School, has developed a program that assures every student of physical excellence. Exercise on the grip swing puts muscles on the least athletic. Extension push-ups are among the toughest of the drills. As an incentive to excel, the color of the shorts the boys wear is determined by their ratings on performance charts. Some requirements for top ratings are stricter than for Annapolis plebes. A lad who has mastered the pegboard will find a military obstacle course a snap. 200 schools across the country have adopted La Sierra's program of 15-minute daily competitive exercise. On a hot day, they wet down the wrestling mats for sliding. The boys at La Sierra are learning that it's not only good sense to get toughened up, it's fun.
Come on. You know, I mean, what do you say? Compare where we were back in the 60s to where we are today. I'm getting this other video here prepped because I want you to hear from JFK himself. And man, I think that it's so true what he says. And once again, it's about looking at where we're at today. We as a culture, I don't know if you know, but it's like our standard for obesity the bar has been lowered. You'll be amazed at what technical obesity actually is, and then gross obesity. And whenever you see this, and then you go out back into the mall and you realize that literally almost everybody I see is obese or on the verge of obese. I mean, it's just where we're at as a culture. Eating food products that are not actually food, chemically designed to be addictive. And this is what we're consuming on a daily basis. We've got to get back to eating local, supporting our local farmers and ranchers, removing the red tape and regulation that allows them to actually sell their products. Get back to eating real food again, serving real food to our children. And then implementing exercise programs. This La Sierra program has just amazed me. I don't know if you caught it, but he said, the young men actually wore different colored shorts to identify where they're at, their different fitness levels. I mean, people be crying, profiling, discrimination. No, we're just simply saying he's further along than you are. You have ways to go. And then they said, if they can master the pegboard, which try a pegboard, that stuff is hard. Okay. But if they can master the pegboard, they could do this at any military training camp. I'm not sure they even do that in military training camp now. We've got to lower the standard for our soldiers. So, wow, today is the day of raising the bar. Raising the bar. Check this out. Let me get it added here to the lineup. Give me a second. This is a longer video. I won't play all of it, but I wanted you to see some of this.
Physical sense, going all the way back to the Greek era, of what it took to move the body well, without injury, with mastery of movement and control.
Those of us who remember John Kennedy, he affected our lives dramatically. He had a vigor, he had a youth, he had an energy. He took La Sierra High School and made that the poster child of his program to make America a healthy place, because he understood that if America was healthy, physically healthy, it would be mentally, spiritually, emotionally, patriotically healthy.
I welcome this opportunity to speak to the people of America about a subject which I believe to be most important, and that is the subject of physical fitness. And I speak not only as President of the United States, but also as a parent of 2 children who I hope will grow up with those qualities of vigor and energy which we identify with the best of America. This should be a matter of concern to us all. A country is as strong really as its citizens. And I think that mental and physical health, mental and physical vigor go hand in hand.
Ready up! Last hit hook!
Okay.
5 sets, start on ready!
I hope that we will not find a day in the United States when all of us are spectators except for a few who are out on the field. I hope all Americans will be on the field. This is a subject which should be of interest to us all.
It is possible for young men to achieve difficult physical feats if they're motivated in the right direction.
And I hope when we have seen the astonishing results which we have seen, where we've been able in the short space of 2 and 3 months to change the physical habits and strength of our children, that this will spread to every school district in the United States. That all of us will participate, and in so doing will be better citizens and happier ones. This is a challenge for us all. Children, boys and girls, college students, mothers and fathers. And all of us, I think, should welcome it. I hope all of you will join in a great national effort to build a strong and better America through physical effort and through the contributions we can make by the drive and force we bring to our daily lives. Thank you.
We were given a gift 50 years ago. We were given a gift that made our lives better, and we owe it to a cause greater than ourselves to be able to share that gift, to open that conversation again.
It's time to give back. To give back, and then we can do that a couple of ways. First of all, participate in helping with this film.
If you have...
Man. I don't know about you, but that fires me up. That fires me up. Mental and physical vigor. We need some more mental and physical vigor. And it is a matter of national security. And it is directly connected to our mental and spiritual health. Okay? I tell you, it's incredible. This is the direction I want to go. This is what we need in Oklahoma. What if we here in Oklahoma do 2 things at the same time? What if we move from the bottom when it comes to overall health and fitness to the top in the nation, and at the same time do that with our academics? Here's the thing. I think they're connected. I think they're connected. That if we start implementing programs like this in our public schools and we see transformation in health, you're also going to see transformation in attitude, in mental health, in ability to focus, in discipline to study. All of these things come together. This is how we improve everything in Oklahoma, not just by implementing a physical fitness program. Okay, that's just part of it, but connecting that program to the broader picture of life. I would encourage you to start doing this yourself. Okay, let's not just talk about what everyone else needs to do, but how do we implement this on a personal level? Start with walking. Start with something basic. Start building on that. Start becoming this kind of person. And then from that place, you'll be able to speak with confidence and authority and saying, I can tell you firsthand the benefits of this. And then we start spreading this across the nation. I love what Samuel Adams said. It does not take a majority to prevail. It takes an irate, tireless minority keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. And this is what we need. Brush fires. It's what I'm hoping to do this morning, is spark something in you to get started in this journey today. I'm not selling a fitness program. I'm very interested in the transformation of Oklahoma. Physical, mental, spiritual transformation across the state. And when I see this of where our nation was a few decades ago, this is a rapid decline, but man, I'm celebrating this new move, this new initiative of President Trump to pull the plane up. We've been in a nosedive. It's time to pull it up. And man, I want to take this and run with it here in the state of Oklahoma. And let's lead the nation. Let's lead the nation when it comes to transformation. And I promise you, this will impact test scores. This will impact learning and performance in every other area. It does for all of us. You start getting physically healthy, you're going to have more focus and attention for your children. You're going to do better at work. You're going to have a more, the energy you can invest in your spouse, let's just put it that way, will greatly improve. It's going to impact every area of your life. Yeah, if you missed the video that I just played, you're going to have to go back and watch it. But I believe that what JFK started and wanted to see across the nation, we're returning to that. And so I really celebrate that. And it's going to be a big part of this campaign, of my effort when elected to governor. So good morning, Maya. Good to see you this morning. You'll have to watch that. Quick update on Watonga. We had a great meeting in Watonga. It was not sponsored or affiliated with any organization. I love that. It was simply some people out there who said, we want to get to know who you are, Jake. Would you come out here? And I did. So I said, hey, get some people together. You know, I don't want to go out there for 5 people. So went out there, had a nice group. Really appreciate those who organized that. And they found a space. It was a great meeting room, and laid out, I spoke for an hour, laid out the things, the priorities to me, and then, given some background on myself, and then had a nice question and answer time. And I'd love to do that at your place. So if you would like for me to come to your town, your church, whatever it is, hey, get in touch with me. I'd love to come. Okay. So Jake for the state, it seems to be the easiest email for people to use. jakeforthestate@gmail.com. Send it to me and I'll go out to your place and talk about all of these issues, how we can improve Oklahoma. That is my priority. I love it, Maya, getting your 4 miles in. Good job. Good job. I took a break this morning from running. We got in late from Watonga, and so I slept in a little bit and did not get my running in this morning. I ran 7 miles yesterday, and I'm going to work out later today, but I had to get some rest for my body this morning. But good things are happening in the campaign. Just to update you there, we are adding to our core team, and brought a couple of people on yesterday that are going to provide tremendous service to the campaign. And we're really excited about that. And if you missed yesterday's broadcast, we did lock in the location out in Chickasha for the Oklahoma Rising event. Beautiful property out west of town. It's going to be outdoors in September 6th. So you mark that on your calendar. And it's exciting. The man said, I believe in the vision. Take my land and use it however you want. And so we just watch God provide over and over again. Now, one of the ways you can help this morning is share this broadcast, get this out, because we're definitely seeing some throttling, some censorship from Facebook. I don't know if this is old Zuckerberg at it again, or if this is a Facebook strategy to get profiles that are not individual profiles. So whether they're business, this is a professional dashboard. My Facebook page is a professional dashboard, and they want you to buy ads. So one of the ways they do that is they keep you from getting out to people. So you're motivated to buy ads to get it out to people. Okay. And, definitely we'll do that. But one thing you can help in is just sharing this. Tag some people in it, share it. When you get this broadcast spread out there organically, it's even better. And, whenever you refer something to your friend of yours, they're more likely to view it rather than it just being a paid advertisement. So if you could just like this, share it, tag someone in it, and we'll get this message out across the state. We have to see radical change in Oklahoma, radical change. And I believe that I am the candidate in this race to bring radical change, the one who's willing to stand against the establishment, the one who's not bought out, not taking any big PAC money or lobbyist money. I'm not taking any of that. This campaign survives on individual donations. So we need your donation. You can go to my website, jakemerrickforgovernor.com, jakemerrickforgovernor.com. And if you would give, and there's a max donation of $2,800 for each individual. You don't have to give all of that at one time. If you commit to like $5, $10, $20 a month, that's even better. So that we have a consistent expectation of what we'll have each month to apply to signs and to push cards and gas money to get across the state. So if you go to jakemerrickforgovernor.com, find that donate link and give something. So this is going directly to the campaign to go out across the state and talk about this right here, how we can transform Oklahoma. And the momentum is on. It is growing every single day. Just had 50 people out of Watonga say, we want signs, we want to get out and door knock, we want to go out and make sure you're elected. So just thankful for that, humbled by that, and appreciate all of those volunteers out in Watonga area in Blaine County. So I'd love to come to your county. Let's get it together. Reach out to me. We'll set it up and come out there. And then in the meantime, we're doing these events across the state. The first one's coming up September. One of the things I'm gonna probably do, I've got to get this organized, but we're going to be doing some 5Ks across the state. It just ties into what President Trump is doing. And not just 5Ks, I want to do some other challenges and competitions and really emphasize the need for improvement in our physical conditioning in Oklahoma and how that will impact mental health, spiritual health. It's all connected. Man, I'm fired up today. I got to get off. I'm looking at the time. I started a little bit late this morning, so I have to hop off so I can get to my next one. I'll be doing a podcast here in a minute. Well, it's actually at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to do a podcast with Jenny White in the Rope Report. So you can tune in there, go to the Rope Report and jump on this podcast. I'll be with Jenny White this morning, 9 o'clock, and love to see you there. Please send any questions you have about me, my campaign, anything we're a part of. Love to engage with you. But hey, God bless you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.